Tuni Emma NDC Amanyo Kuno going into the 2020 elections. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and already as announced, the ceremony that said the can kind of. I drench any Susiani, the woman who flew star. Now, Abra, Moshe or Facebook Live, no. Bomma, Jumedie, ending to have a beer, what gonna be out, Bianti and Casse, BBC, and Air Cosmo, TVXYZ, and a face of Power 97.9. Akina FM4 fire, Sansa Pure FM4 air fire, Oko a year. A TV Mantemon, so minim say Zebla FM4 air fire den to baby will be a woti and kabia, Yabamuninache, Emma Makwaba, a breno, and yaso. But as TV station, emerging TV station of the year 2020 and 2021, airport, na yakosa, Yadebe Kwa Yadimusado. Yenina, Yaward Yusu, Yema, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Akwaba, and a vessel, Mamu Dindi. I'm ready to Professor Akwaba. His Excellency.
Prince, yeah, that's it. Good.
Yeah, what do you? I'm sure so. Who are now doing say Apamada Kao?
Now, me share na eja na me share me name at the cry. And so catch them say RTP awards, and I'm sure and also me bomb abaso. Money ejuma. Yes, we acquired to say Ghana Grammy. And Ghana Grammy. That's right.
Now we have you trouble for you with Team Sweden.
Oh, HSM more qua HSM.
Anyway, yeah, same free Bawaba, the Greater Accra region, and we know, say, you are climaxing your thank you tour after touring the length and breadth of the country with you being here in the Greater Accra region. How would you say Otono SCI, and for the people within the Greater Accra, what specific message you more anything?
You, I'm say Meda with Chief Nasi, and then Omo Moshe Anope, Obia Yachiamo, Yabedru Kropon and Kasa, Ghana Kropon, Greater Accra region. I'm say Samotea, Yasha Senate, thank you, Toy. At the Anante 15 regions, and Greater Accra, and the final region, baby. And see, Oma Mutin, Oma Moshe, Yachiamo. Yet in that sense, Mamo, if we say, Nantis, and I say, Dagana Fase.
That's right.
Say 2020 Abatuano. Oma, Omina Mupie, Ombeye Santini, Enyabotre, a train, Ediomon set team Abatu Kratano, so a train me a kind Bibiano, so Biabo and Homoding. Omo to Abama a domin nasi. Omo want to Abama and so yes, missing on sacral margin, not 2024. Omo to Abama NDC Senabea, NDC best Sanyoma, Ama Ahonto, Aba Ghana. NT MC Nantes no. 15 regions, the Bibia Echo ye. MC Bibia Echo Bia. There was very wide coverage, TV, radio, Biana, Obia Shebi, and to be in near course of 15 regions. No, into Afinias in Greater Accra. Into Greater Accra, Fonso, Yadamase.
Okay, but within what tour across the 15 regions, Greater Accra is 16 now. Main call Greater Accra because I think our Baba Shah said. What's your evaluation of Nyauhunu and the Kafa, the current state of my Ghana?
Oh, what do you mean, say? We're in a state of despair. And Crawford Erahu. And Crawford so normal because and yet say and a bino a promise here. Before the election, somewhere you be free water, free lights, free power, free day. Now a COVID sikano 11.9 billion and almost spending from March to December. Bebre echo into convincing people. Yes, a small business loan. So Juana Momo pimping Osha 2,000 Ghana. And then we're all paying that back. And she be a finance minister at the budget beba.
That's right.
Economy now tetia pansa. Now economy I say it was so resilient. Because I say I'm the vice president kind.
Yeah.
Or say if there's any external shock for 6 months, Ghana will not need any external intervention. And no 2 weeks. COVID, see, within 2 weeks, now Yakwa MFA Kostresika. I mean, what happened to that resilient economy? The economy had no buffers. Until within 2 weeks of a COVID situation, lockdown, now IMF, Nanya IMF na my 1 billion. And a World Bank my 400 million. And a sika made the to stabilization fund, they could $200 million every month. And yanka abayin ni sika biya the baby biya. So it just shows there's a certain culture of lying about things and all that. I just say almost they deceiving Ghana for. And you can see that it has all unraveled. And
I'm sure as we proceed with the interview, we'll get into more of that. But for now, I'm back to the Greater Accra region. And we quite remember, you won the presidential and parliamentary elections in the Greater Accra region. 2020 about 2 years I'm making. What specific a year assembly of bit my culture already what can here, but in CHA and your bonnet. What specific message be a bit my culture more region titru war a choir o make me aboa now what fast so then you could leverage on gains are we make here in the 2020 elections.
Yo, that's a prince. We share 2016 your far presidential MPP winning the difference between your MPP 116,000 votes in 2016. 2020 you done and I winning region by 76,000 votes. We share 2016 na Greater Accra you were 14 seats. 2020 about one you had 6 seats can home they call 20 seats. And you can say Greater Accra, you have majority of seats in Greater Accra. Now, so 2016, now you have 106 seats per our parliament.
Yeah.
And you have 169 seats. Into Greater Accra, they are continuing with 6 extra seats, no? And no, Amaya Apeja Abedru 137. Into Greater Accra, it's and Washer Census, Greater Accra has become the most populous region in the whole country. And that is because of the capital region, because of migration near the Ebifi Stream, Ebifi Volta, Ebifi Ashanti Memu, Obia Eba to the capital. So it has overtaken Ashanti region as the most populous. And there's just a Greater Accra region as Sombo. And apart from that, being the capital region, you understand, Horne the first port of entry most of the time for any person who comes into this country. And so it is very important that we pay attention to Greater Accra in terms of employment, because a lot of young people are coming here. Because Osha say business and Abibia, Greater Accra takes a big chunk, maybe 70% of total business and industry in Ghana. And Sana Abia Western, Ashanti in the Western, and then maybe Tamale in the northern region. A few time we pay a lot of attention to, especially infrastructure in Greater Accra region, roads, health, and everything. Into infrastructure, the bulk of the infrastructure is in the Greater Accra region because it's a national infrastructure. Who took my Kwabucha, Hina Obefa, won't even call from Tamale Airport, this Oba Kotoka International Airport. And CMBA, if we don't expand it, then it means that you have a constraint traveling. Almost 70% of Ghana's imports come through Tamahabo. Until we don't expand the harbor, you understand? But all these are in Greater Accra. Until the bulk of them are in the Greater Accra. And me, I'm not the kind of person who comes and says, "Oh, we've done 4,632 projects in your region." I have a list of the projects we did, and I can read them one by one, item by item.
But per the why a month for Greater Accra region? If you look at the population and housing census, it goes to suggest, look, Greater Accra are very populous, no. Have you been able to? I know you're starting your tour, but you have a firm grip of near Akoswama. If you say why a man penida, have you been able to identify near a year a month for a war region more problem, even with the population and housing census? Does it give you an idea of more aspiration and the point I'll be to my first meet?
Oh, the challenges are plenty. Because of the exponential population growth, housing is a problem. In Ethiopia, some of the rents in Greater Accra are the highest in the whole of the country. Because, to get decent accommodation, you pay through your nose. If you go to Ashanti or Northern, the rents are much lower. And so that's the first thing. Traffic is a problem.
Yeah.
You need to keep expanding the roads. most of the roads that we expanded, the alternative roads we created and all things in 2016, government has to continue with that. But that is not happening. In Ethiopia, there's almost a gridlock in Accra. So, because Kofi at the rush hour time, the traffic gridlock is very serious.
Especially
I know it's a problem. Sanitation is a problem. Because of the number of people, at the time we were leaving office, it was estimated that Greater Accra was generating about, how many? Was it 200,000 tons of garbage a day or something like that? No, 2,000 tons of garbage a day or something like that. And I don't know, I don't remember the exact figure. But that has increased. And if you are not clearing the garbage as regularly as you should, then it piles up. And sometimes we call marketplace not why portal, because for several days the truck has not come to take the skip loader and all that. And sanitation is a problem. Water has become a problem. By the time we left office, Greater Accra had excess water. We added 20 million gallons of water a day. And so at Denta and East Legon, everybody started to get water. And we kept 20 million gallons in reserve. We had a desalination plant to supply Teshie and other places. Today, most places, I was talking to somebody, he says they open our water once a week on Saturdays. And so if you fill the poly tank and it gets short during the week, then you have to order a tanker to bring you water. So problems in the also. And I think the government must sit up because Enyoma and Koyi.
And it's a normal bit of Koyi and Nina Santina Yebeto. And ne eba mo beba be hye mo amanyo fo mo beba be hye ne yegina so na ye de akoto aba. And clearly we saw that in the 2020 elections, 2016 elections about to abes na kwina. But there's one thing I can fa yabat one hye ho, and you've been strongly criticized. I mean, especially with regards to the conduct of the general elections. I will question a year about a commissar and a quite our fast or year and normal. Already we'll be defending on what catch we are self and I said, look, international observers almost share about one near said the normalcy course. Will be a to say, Bibia Koye, come. Now then, I won't want to ask what two and you see, Mammy Jimenez as well as why the Totozaza Ubrubusa. His Excellency, I did also.
You see, about Wohui say over year assessment of Abattoir a year before, during, and after. And you may see before, and you may see during, and then you may see Abattoir no much you know, you may see a compilation of results near the end. And you may be brave to see a was our election. And Mekan, and yes, Mekan Electoral Commission, but I want to make sure, say, they will continue to be the #1 electoral commission in the whole of Africa, because that is the perception of Ghana's electoral commission. Afaijan Woho and Madam Charlotte say Woho, we've been the leading electoral commission. Because I say me call Liberia as an election monitor. After first round, there was confusion because they probably bring who polling station one near the other. ECOWAS sent a technical team led by Charlotte Osei to come and sort out the Liberian Electoral Commission's problems. And she came and sorted it out. The runoff, everybody's name was printed at your polling station. Into Udruha, Oshe, Ehunse Udin Waha, and San Wako joining Santino. But in the past, it wasn't there. So people will go here and say, Udiniha, no Akoha, Udiniha, or Brea, or Bekas, I mean to Abanibium. And they sorted it out. You understand? So I'm just saying that everything that I say is to make them sit up. Until I say they must redeem themselves in 2024. And that's what I'm kind.
Absolutely.
So when I'm pointing out their mistakes, it's not because I hate them.
But as you do, they're also asking you to prove with evidence.
So I want an investigation. That's why we said, come in the ballot box. Hey, come in the witness box and come and testify under oath. You said you won't do it. Now I may criticize you. If you had sat in the witness box and would ask you all these questions, what ground will I have to go around? Like I say, you did this or you did that. Your best opportunity, which was taken by your predecessor, if I done 2 days now a witness box, MPP Bissano questions from A to Z about the electoral process. No. And so, who criticized him again?
But as their recent press conference suggests,
I welcome an investigation. Says Anamepe.
Yes.
And if they say they want an investigation, let's have an investigation.
Okay.
But I don't know if the police are the best to. I don't know what the police are going to investigate. We want an independent inquiry, or let's go to ECOWAS. ECOWAS has an electoral body. Let them bring, some people to come and do an investigation into Ghana's election of 2020. I will welcome it. I will testify. Under oath, I will swear an oath and I will testify. I'll run away from the witness box.
I know you, I know you are a communication expert and about body language. Who read the body language?
Yes.
Just a minute, His Excellency. Who read the body language? Just to be able to understand baby will be free by in terms of their worker. When you read the body language of Nano Dr. Bosman Asare Wabra press conference now, does it in any way give you an indication say if a footway ya wootway ne kokoba wubwe a rasupebo?
No, ono de why no so MPP ni. His posturing, his body language, everything. The way he was arguing with me, all kind of more response. No, but I say on the crabina etching. What I say? Yeah. I mean, the way he was, he has a grudge with me. What I say? And right from the start, this was an existential threat to Ghana's democracy. And he was declaring a stand. You understand? So we have no hope in him. The person we have hope in is Jim Mensah, because she's the chair of the commission. And she bears ultimate responsibility. You understand? We know he's an MPP man. I know he's an MPP man. We know his track record in University of Ghana before he became commissioner. He was an MPP patron. And we don't talk about him. But Jean Mensah is the chair, and she takes ultimate responsibility. What I say? And so she must put her foot down and make sure that the right thing is done. Election
right.
We took a CI to Parliament. The CI had a form, and the form said you must fill in how many people were registered on the biometric register. Why do we have a biometric register if on the pink sheet there is no column for registering how many people presented themselves to vote? But it was deliberate. The form they took to Parliament had a column for registering how many people were registered by the biometric register. The form that they gave us to vote had no column. And we recognized that line. We said, why is there no column for registering biometric register? So we'll rectify it. Then they went and brought a stamp, say, Omon Stampy. Most of the pink sheets were not stamped. Either they didn't train their people to stamp them, or they deliberately did not stamp them. Some stamped, they didn't write the number of people verified. And so after the election, we have the pink sheets, but we don't have how many people were verified by the biometric register. The biometric registers are in their possession.
Yeah.
Into a court, we're going to ask the court and say that we don't have on all these pink sheets how many people presented themselves to vote because the electoral officers did not record it. And can she give us, because the biometric machines are in their possession, and she knew who asked that question. And that's why she refused to go into the witness box.
I mean, regardless.
That's just one.
Yeah.
Two, after we had printed the ballot papers, in Ghana, we've always printed the ballot papers here. Your printing now agree say the allocation for printing for this printing press has been done. BBR, everything is done. We have a certificate we all sign. Okay. Now you now sign it. Near package BBR near the call. There's no printing again. If there's a need to print, the parties are informed. Near some my agents about. The agent back home refi the BBR kofa. Ya printing we are ya sister your money in our call. They had printed millions of ballot papers again. You say, I don't know printing ballot papers. You say, I printed you see, back home, I'll say, in case of a runoff. Now, in case of a runoff, should I have some, I don't know if it but all the people who stood in the election were on the ballot paper, the ones that they are printed, the ones we found. Runoff here, normally two parties. Yeah. So you cannot have printed the same ballot paper and say in case of a runoff. They couldn't explain. And they said, okay, let's go and ban them. But we have information that it's not only that place where we found it. There were other printing presses that printed extra ballots.
What do you say to Umombeka say? Opportunity by MAO, and I say this, NDC, MAO, say, court, Mubet presented some normal way, even though more explain constantly say, yeni see nanso ya anya sa akwanya no court. Amanfo insist say, munya opportunity e court. Somebody advance be betre. Said by ya amanfo better say, monsem na mo ka no. no kura bi wo.
We came from the issue of that's why I'm giving you the various scenarios. The next scenario is that declaration of results. No, we've never seen anything like that in this country. If you had Faijan Breso, Faijan Betnasi now or declare a year, it matches to the last column. You can check the results up and down. It will come give you the same AE. Charlotte said the same thing. And so when almost or a mistake. Why were you even rushing to do it if you were going to make a mistake? You must make sure that by the time you go and declare the results, there is no room for any doubt about the results. And so you rushed, went and announced them. There was a problem. You said, oh, there was a mistake. You came and corrected it. They corrected it. So now, if you ask me what the final result of the election is, I can't tell you. Because they corrected it so many times. And then they went and brought these regional tallies. In the regional compilations, there were mistakes in the regional compilations. What do I say? And say, you didn't do a good job. Redeem yourself in 2024. You understand? Start to build the confidence. Why are you an electoral commission? Because of us, the political parties. If the parties were not there, would there be an electoral commission?
So confidence now personal building and say, no,
I'm sure to say we are their enemies. And okay, say yeah, the proposals say, oh, these are proposals for electoral reform. Almost I mean, how can you?
So it just shows those are the barriers that we face, and I say
no, they see us as their enemies. We are ready to engage them.
Okay,
but to say and I say bibi, you understand? And I'm prepared to open a new chapter, and let's make the corrective because it's in the interest of the nation. Say you be holding credible elections. Na obia adia tumu say this is the legitimate and everything. 2016 we had it. There was no problem. Melusi me say, oh yes, my jetum, let's take it that way. I mean, if there were even irregularities, I don't think that they would have been so major that it would have overturned the election. What I say?
Very well.
And we should have that same feeling. You understand? But the Supreme Court ruled, Supreme Court, and almost say the election stand 7-0. And we've accepted it.
His Excellency Amanebobia ya put it together at the chair for and yet for about Niabebuno Noka, the Ado Makomasho, Nia Ghana for Eka. And it's also no appear consistently or Casa Hodwa Yana Ghana for engaging Titru a year you seek asem. The crowd will be crowded. I heard you say Krumaya ship. Tibabia Befabia no be issue. Utie Omo Abem, no more Casafa, Yesika. One say, a man saying in a sofa say, Yadia could you will coronavirus aba. A bubu be a pre-amanisika Samaya bete. Ghana so and the moon shroom. Inti, I didn't think changing out be a person he put a blame no, and the big go ban so for COVID into Namana Bassa. Sa argument, Rodri was say, and I feel so. Say Wokasa Mugusuka says Sikasem Ayabasa. How different is it from a brand now year campaign?
Sikasem Ayabasa, even before COVID. Yeah, the COVID catastrophe is like using COVID as a cover-up. Before COVID, na Ghana economy no enkoye. Finance Minister Mekabium, he's been cooking the books. Hey. I've said this several times. He should sue me or anything. He's been cooking the books. He doesn't give the right picture of the economy. Liability say energy sector debt, banking sector cleanup. Enfant can't deficit no. He puts it as a footnote. And he say, oh, your deficit is 6%. It's because huge liability items no or the you know, and he's done that for a long time. Into your Fitch rating, Moody's rating, it looks like the economy is doing well. What I say, and no, because say BBC and COVID, and I say there's an asteroid that hits the earth or something. Now, economy at Tepansa across the world. Ghana can survive for 6 months. Could we survive for 6 months? It means that we're living a lie. What I say, within 2 weeks, our economy was in ICU. And IMF this economy would have crashed. And that is because they are borrowing for only consumption. Between 2016, 120 billion debt and Amoje, you've taken us to 375 billion in 4.5 years. And the question is, it's only for consumption. What have you seen in terms of, say, major infrastructure a year? You know, you can say, you know, that money has been invested for future generations. And the point is, Oma mortgage BBR, Get Fund maker say, the next 15 years, 60% of Get Fund, Oma mortgage. ESLA, yen year buy to pay off the energy sector debt. It was supposed to be for 5 years. Into by now, Anka ESLA no, would have been taking it off the petrol price. Anka petrol price they do 6.9 no. Anka ye ESLA nifihwa, it will bring the petrol price down and give people relief. When him say your mortgage ESLA till 2035. Until 2035, any future government that comes cannot take ESLA off because they've taken the money for it already. And so you have to keep paying ESLA. Your money, your nana, baby, by 2035, you won't be near. But you people have to continue paying till 2035. And so you may ESLA for you. You know? Or say, or buy, my father I didn't inherit anything from my father. It's not true. Or buy a sinking fund. We had more than $200 million in it. I could have spent that money. But I knew that Kufuor's Eurobond, we were supposed to retire it in 2017. Until if another government came, if we didn't put the money aside, of course, we expected we'll win the election, so it would have made it easier for us. But they won, and so we had left that money there. And so they took it and paid off the Kufuor Eurobond. That was a government that was thinking forward. Ghana Infrastructure Fund, you jab $250 million home for leveraging investment into healthcare, into infrastructure development. We left that money there. Ask them what they did with it. Stabilization fund, and Yesika Yeja was stabilization fund. And COVID by government had no money to do anything. We told them go to the stabilization fund and take money and start doing something against COVID. Until IMF and World Bank brought the 1 billion and the 400 million. What I say? So we had a vision for this country. And the point is, the economy, you cannot build it overnight. You have to build on what somebody left you. What I say? But and then you go on a huge consumption spree, and that is what they've done.
It must see Papa.
Oh yes, I think that the foundation we left him. We left him 2 new oil wells. Yeah, Ejuma now was with 1 oil field, Jubilee. Yeah. That was our only source of oil revenue. Yeah. Obaye, I had given him Sankofa oil field and 10 field. Yeah. So 3 oil wells. He's got more money from oil than any government in the history of Ghana. And so I said, what have they done with all that money? Okay. It's all gone into consumption. Okay.
And another interesting bit, and Mamenka I heard for near T4 say, and I'm saying you work Greater Accra region, and His Excellency Greater Accra regional tour. Manya a lot of concerns. Free T4 near her for say the next question on be answer. Mr. Money Remoga will find a few Remoga. Eti Achima Dream I could see a ban with a tram card. They are tied to no say a ba addition home sema. Oh, I had there or the fear such a ba. But I said my quabe bone of contention that was a danya hodo amusi say suku dine saying kayeme ebekum. And here we are, say omo mo abemo kase look. Eba nya wuja na wuja 29. No mobile no meti abe over 30 crampo ekonenim. So meaning say what you left was few. Eti wo ama no won kran kase mo no de na wo kafa ho. I know my MP will whip me honorable as Senator Rollins. So that's how to be away.
Ebawa. Because when I encho bukom, sani acho bukom ni ma ye come if you dani ma ye gra. Kodiga nga aba. Si mento manga wo gamefe ni bon utwi. Ayedio.
Sanya menkuau.
Mento manga fiamo. Mene oba she Power FM Studios ni wonton woda gamefe shi. Greater Accra fan wonton woda nyeshi. Ake last election ni wo fon chiki nyewa wa ni wo ye Greater Accra region. by 76,000 votes. Or not 6 seats or Kefitai. Well, you are done. Agbo. Wait a minute, fancy. Yeah, trust.
And you are done.
And so I say me okay.
Yes.
And now me running mate. I call your program be at University of Ghana. And your vice president and so by. You see, the problem with Sir Abayin is Makase, one of the major damages to Ghana is that you have to be interested in leaders beyond. Because social promises are almost promising they've not been able to achieve anything. We've done 4,620 projects in Greater Accra. We've done this. And Trony, make us and trauma, let me use the right word, it's lies. And Trony, the meaning some or university and answer, would join a party no now, who share and Trony dear, because the leaders themselves are lying. What do I say? I say about Miakai, Obwa, would they Google, Napo, NDC finished only 46 community schools.
Yes.
When we handed over, in the handing over notes, we said we finished 46. We completed them. I commissioned, I alone, answer na mefia by more. I commissioned 36. Personally, I commissioned 36 of them. And ebi yede enkwada ekomu. Ebi so you couldn't send children in because you have to wait for the academic year to start. Into ebi near complete it, but na enkwada enkomu. You know, Greater Accra Frafraha, the school there. I commissioned it personally. It's working. Kwabinya, me na mko commission here. Into would you Google Napo handing over notes at the mano 46 on one Kazan or CNDC completed only 46. And say vice president Ebeka say you completed 29 after him okay 29. You know, then it means even between them, you understand, somebody is lying. You understand? And I believe that he is lying.
That's based on the Napodi Kankai, which is
based on even what I commissioned myself. I commissioned more than 30.
Okay.
It is a vice president can say we completed only 29 chess or one. You understand? And Napo himself, from our handing over notes, he said we completed only 46. And he said, vice president can say we completed only 29. You know, and 30 or car say or more complete. You know, it was the World Bank ones. We had 2 categories. We awarded 50 on Get Fund. And then we awarded 23. World Bank Maesika for an extra 23. And no Sikane da Bank of Ghana. Into ye Juma near Chauka. The other 50, no, it was Get Fund that was paying. Into ye Juma, now the certificate kwa. A check akra, and now and contempt to say World Bank, you know. But ye wa baimu, what do certificate ba? A check akra near Chauka. No asa anko toa with Jumaso. After you fear baimu no. Those that were on the Get Fund, you know, this government stopped paying the contractors. They said we're going to audit them. And for a long time, now Obia and Kojuma, everybody was sitting. You understand? And they continued the World Bank ones, because World Bank ones in the Nasikadaho. You understand? So when they come and say we completed 30, they are talking mostly of the World Bank ones. Na Yenyaji Sikano Abetoho. You understand? But most of those are awarded under Get Fund. They mortgage the Get Fund, 60% of Get Fund. I'm going to Bush 1.5 billion. And so for the next 15 years, the amount of money that is left in the Get Fund is only about 40% of the Get Fund. Ain't contractors to complete those schools. That's the problem. And the 1.5 billion, they are using to build 14 secondary schools.
Okay.
You see, and the thing is, most countries, free SHS is working.
Yeah.
It's based on a day school model. You understand? Free SHS is difficult to work when you have a boarding system like Ghana has. And what we said was, let's build more day schools so that it can absorb some of the children and give them education, and then would limit those under the boarding system. So we're going to have a combination of day and boarding, which will ease the pressure on AE. What you are saying? And so, day schools, Now you're going to build 14 new super complex boarding schools to add to the burden of the boarding schools we have already. No one can say, oh, you be a new super complex boarding school, you be a super complex boarding school, but we're decentralizing secondary education and taking it to the doorsteps of the people. We call a northern region, is it Wapuli or somewhere? We finished one of the schools there. One day I was passing, and the children had closed school. And they were coming from school and going back to their community. The community is about 1 kilometer away. Maybe were on their bicycles, others were walking, the children were conversing and going back to it. It looked beautiful. Maybe they blocked my convoy. I don't know, you must have seen it in a video. I think it was sometime, during the 2016 campaign, But that was one of the schools that had been completed and children were in the school, Wow. And their whole concept of the free SHS, that's why we're having problems. I told the I say, then they have to come back home. Then they say this gold track come, green track, green from you understand? If we had finished more of the day schools, it would have eased the pressure on the existing secondary schools. Okay. So that we probably would not have had to have this double track.
Maminya quick follow-up, and Minim said that you heard from Bibriakumaso. And now you fix the country for a year, and you have some other domano. What does Nyaye Kumusisieno? A chefa said ye a bang bibeba. Now why a Japadibia Magana? Any here say, I was say, yet one.
Yeah, no, they can't share with you.
Okay, so
Napo,
yeah, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. NDC built only 46 community day senior high school. Opoku Prempeh.
After Vice President, so say then.
Vice President say 30 now.
Or 29?
29. And yes.
So who is telling the truth?
Yeah, but what about Ghana? Yes, sure.
And then this is the list of 36 that were commissioned before I left office.
Okay.
Minsumechi obia na madam wase say mama ya kwenya ye kwaye ba ha moje na bibia so akoyi say dia na ye pe no enkosi enkowie pe na nsoso ni nyina enyame asem.
That's right.
Efa no sa blocks ene ye wie san ena wo mo wie san efi aban mu emfi enum ni ntimi ya na me won po say sankomo na yedi ma menya mfato ho kakra ebi ni se o papa se obesi dan edu ena enum de owieye abibia wom se bebia obeda be waduane asaso waye bibia manipa mpotitim na enum na aka no ebi wo ho na anka de aka ne se obepenti ebi wo ho ne aka ne se wo betwe kane akom ebi nso ho de aka ne se bi obetwe nsu akom ananso so waboso kura wie na akasa ebi a odi nua na guso akasa odi nchansi ni beguso enti wo bewie eno no sa no a na wo kasa wo me papa sie enum nsumi sie enum na nya no kresem na wo ka no sa free SHS a ya ka wo asem sa anka so mu say no ya concept no first you have to conceive of it adena wo si school no ehe na schools no udi besisi drawings na be say ansa na wako sketches no so we are by a model no say school na si ho a etesen ne fetisen unu say mofra pade efe e bia no mu nim so hwe papa enso mu du ho mbe hu ansa mu say school no blocks say na mehia to be fra quantity surveyor no wa hwe design nyina no we break ni nyina down owi a waka say school no kra me de besi hi ye kona nanom nan so sabe Ministry of Education de oni asase nanom so mefa we so na madam ase omo man asase na ansa na wobeka se aderu kura ne bo be yesen menye sika efisen efihin sika no fa be fi Ghana government ho na bi nso so ebekwa akobobo se ekọ World Bank ekokojiska na World Bank de no ye the entire model baby headmaster dan wo baby a flats wo workshop wo bibia sa no ye de e-blocks no starter na obi foforo ba wo so Danny Hall na beko ha headmaster Dan beko nya se be basa enti enu ni sa no ma mi na sa na wi ansa na wi why advertisement why advertisement am nkrofo apply
procurement
contracts no ya award ansa na mom seed money no ma ko site mom sod Nti we build from scratch. Nti mo bi anka say ye complete ye. But ye complete 10 na mo so be complete. Wo ba na same de no, de aka ne say wo be painter. Untimi nka say wo ye 10 na me so me ye 10.
But at the end you bet my sec Ghana, His Excellencies. Then you bet my so my Ghana said by asadi we NCBU say aban bi ba no ye project bia e be ye nhye send your ba no beto so. I know the 1992 conspiracy.
Aban kwa ni hu sa. Nanado aban kwa ni hu sa.
Don't fall for it.
Every Rawlings Abreso. Kufo beje Rawlings, what they say and you may be an Rawlings say Ojato.
Okay.
All those who were working contractors, omokosu ye juma. Those who finish. Those who didn't finish, maybe I terminating na yama obi for abeto so ana bibi. Kufo fi aban mo Atamils by.
Yeah.
What they say Atamils eja kufo ejuma bi eto ho. We didn't hear anything like that. What I say, it is known. And yeah, essentially for put the blame where it matters. And you say, "Aban for ban and it's happening now to this government." Memaka say, "Nyamia Domna NDC bar." We're not going to abandon the projects Aban Yashasi. You understand? Because Abasubono bar, it comes to the one who started and the one who completed. What they say, Buidam drawings ni bibia Rawlings Abreso and Osati and Omampenyi Kofo and Koji Sikanabai. Or this can buy almost Siko Drew baby, Sikana and a Professor Mills by Professor Mills and so Koji Sikana be back home. My breast no muye. Interview, you know. Professor Mills said na Yamiaton Safran into no niho. But ye be Buidam ano. Me frɛ Omampenyi Kofo ma on betrase me nem any BS Abuidam. It doesn't spoil anything. And one okay. Omampenyi Kofo na start.
That's right.
Professor Mills say baby ano. Ofre Omampenyi Kofo betrase e ma mu bi ano.
Yeah.
And so abai de on buy bibia Mahama start ya na bibi. Se uko wia abasobon no be come Mahama ho. Enti ye nto aso. And omagya enyo ni bebre. Ohwe hospital si. Schools no mpo nya ya te say hospitals no. Bebre ensure Toma it's unroof the buildings. Chance dinosaur pa ama ensure say and your woman I mean and your mama sika.
Anyway.
What I say nice sika.
Very well. His Excellency, yes, I'm ranking. Hayani wo. Hanso na wo consider he. Eba gena ye won kan kai biu. E dear pan wayama brana ye mampenye. Dear pan wayama wona wo Greater Accra. Eya de nwanwa so a dan ne dan nyina wo se ye de boy ho nkae fi se ye di kan kate se de na wo refer to no population and housing census na che se da na ye do so e won kran ha
otie ye nuanom MPP for omko regional say we are doing 4,732 projects na projects potia ye na ye kwa when we go to any region ye can specific projects. Na ye kind so a district assembly projects and count to say school block ne ebia primary school block and a KVIP and as and your man kitten no ye can and your man say a year major national projects and ye na Greater Accra and nya dodona because it's the capital region into which most of the projects are national projects but our Greater Accra region. Into Mesha Sene University of Ghana Medical Center. So Medical Center, ne say you who say and Yaribi say cancer near the kidney transplant near a brain tumor ne sanyomano.
Yeah.
Say a can't get near this will call South Africa and now occur Europe and now occur India. And you can say medical center be on her. Sa yare no so yeso ye betimi asa sa yare no se na be ya ye nkrofo enko to those other places for medical care. Now apart from that so e be ye center for medical tourism because already wo hwe ye Kolebu hampo a Liberia, Sierra Leone enkrofo yare a omo ba Kolebu o wonim sa
no correct
even Kolebu in the state in which it is. And you say o enye ye see sa University of Ghana Medical Center se na be ya se sa complex yare no heart problems near the ade eba enkrofo be fi Nigeria, Burkina Faso he no ma be sa omo ho yare. And so that was the purpose behind it. And we built it. We sent people for training to come and manage it and all that. But you know, this government was reluctant to operationalize it. And so COVID by, they've operationalized sections of it. But Juma at full capacity, and there was a Ridge Hospital, it's operational, people are benefiting from it and everything. International Maritime Hospital, and they Gapoha for in the sea. And we came out with a policy saying, I'm buying to me Sea Hospital, 90 Cocoa Board, Gapoha, Bank of Ghana, GMPC, yes, you'll be on someone. Sea Hospital, which can care for your staff, but at the same time give care to the public. Into Gapoha Somu, and I'm financing International Maritime Hospital. I went and inspected it. Almost a helipad. I landed with an Air Force helicopter at International Maritime Hospital.
Wow.
I went and inspected it. Almost oxygen plant. Into almost COVID, they have oxygen because they have their plant that produces their own oxygen. And they sell oxygen to other health facilities in the Tema, Accra area. Into that one. Shai Osudoku District Hospital. I'm the almost winning maternal award for 0 maternal deaths and 0 infant deaths, infant mortality deaths for several years. They've been a leading hospital and assessor healthcare within that catchment area. Accident and Emergency Center, your friends in Kolebu, Gan West Municipal Hospital, a Modern Eye Center at Kolebu, Polyclinic at Sege, Botiano, Adenta, Odumai, Temaport expansion. Temaport is about 3 times bigger than the original port. Internet, what is a new Temaport, the efficiency with which things are managed is one of the projects we did. Refurbishment of Terminal 2. Old terminal, no, you're refurbishing. And suddenly you see new terminal, no. Into refurbishment of Terminal 2, and then a new ultramodern terminal, which is Terminal 3. May I sure say you've traveled recently until you'd have passed through there. Kwame Nkrumah interchange. Okay, say Kwame Nkrumah circle. You spend about 2-3 hours in the queue. About 80 to 100,000 cars used to use that circle a day. Now, the gridlock there was very serious until we decided that we'll build an interchange there. And then Nkrumah Circular, you just pass there in minutes. You don't even realize that there's any traffic there. Pokwasi interchange. You have a signing agreement with African Development Bank. You have a Sikano eto home. And sign if you are buying and buying to us. So it was an African Development Bank facility. In Tianka, we started it and they came and completed it. Tama interchange, the same thing. Obichebi Lamtes interchange. And also phase 1, the loan agreement, I call Parliament, we approved it and everything. They said they made some changes and things, but the important thing is that we got the original facility. The same contractor, he's the same one who's building that interchange. Awoshi Pokwasi Road. So no, it connects with the Pokwasi interchange because we built the Awoshi Pokwasi Road first, and that's when I spoke to African Development Bank and said, look, we cannot get the full benefit of Awoshi Pokwasi unless we do the Pokwasi interchange, so that Wufi Hoba you can come and join the Kumasi Road or go to AE. Until now that the interchange is finished, the Awoshi Pokwasi Road has been connected to it, so it makes sense. Yes.
Now say no because you did back we have a cash one the nature say yeah I want free buy if it's Jebia na Hobian yes akremu
now you see dying 10-story building now so you the 2-story abeka home and I assess design no ya reduce yi into ama afe a dina efe nature say una see into no Gifford Road a free Elwag traffic light, Echo Trade Fair. Okay, I said Nana Kwani City. It wasn't like that before we came into office. Yeni Kwano Gifford Road, Echo Bema Camp with that bridge there. Then Bema Camp Road phase 1 and 2, near Echo Captain Maxwell Mahama roundabout, and then over the Airport Hills to Flower Port roundabout, and near a far Echo Teshi, roundabout now, Otimifa, Echo Lekma Hono.
That's right.
Those roads. And then even the whole Trade Fair area, Echo Rasta Bush Road, Honina, there were no roads there. We came and constructed all those roads. Oshe Flower Pot roundabout. You started say you see bridge over the motorway. And you see pillars, on this side. It just say we're going to build the pillars on the other side and go over. Let me tell you a bit about that road. The first proposal I buy and say yenye under bridge, yembiesa tunnel no unim tunnel na a core boundary road.
That's right.
Now the cost of it was about 23 million Ghana cedis, if I remember. And one of the engineers say, you see sir tunnel here, it won't solve the traffic problem. It will still have a problem. Into the better say you basically bridge over the motorway. And I'm sure I'm calculating how much it will cost to build a bridge over the motorway. At the time, if I remember well, it was going to cost us about 63 million Ghana cedis or 60 something million Ghana cedis. And I'm sure, and you best say 23 million a year under bridge. No, you find the bridge over the motorway to make more sense and it will solve the traffic problem. Until we awarded the contract, we gave the contractor a little advance to start. MC Bank of Ghana and Poboae Kakra, and he started working. If we had continued, I mean, it's 5 years now. If that bridge was there, it would have solved that problem on the Spintex Road and the bridge near Adiade. But Omubayo and the bridge, they decided to do it. And so they went and did under bridge. I think that they should rather have used the resources to continue the bridge over the motorway. It would have solved the problem much better.
That
was the plan.
You handling over notes.
They know what Ministry of Roads. Wow. They know we started the bridge. Anything under bridge, anything under bridge. But Omba designed for under bridge. Not Sonitra, never saw me. So they went and got Sonitra and said, do the under bridge. But I think that they should have used the resources to push the contractor to continue the bridge over the motorway. Now say na mehu say almost started boom. And so the contractor seems to have come back to site. But he's been off site for God knows how many asphaltic overlay. We did more than 100 and something kilometers of asphaltic overlay in Accra. The National Data Center. MCN and say Vice President say Omunomaya National Data Center. It's not true. We finished it before they came. We set up the National Data Center. Accra Digital Center, we built it. In Toko Sekohwa, it was a series of old warehouses. You should go and see that place today. We built that.
It's not just a digitization, yeah, and buy.
If you look at most of the fiber that has been laid in Ghana here, we laid the optic fiber. I commissioned the Eastern Corridor fiber cable. That goes through 26 districts to provide high-speed internet to all of them. And most of the fiber here it was laid in our time. Into Sanyomani, Teshi desalination plant. I'm sure you know about that one. And then Accra Tema Water Project. We added 40 million gallons of water to Accra from Pong. 20 million gallons we activated and we held 20 million in reserve. Into Abra, Yebefia Baimuna, Adenta, East Legon. First, no Munyensio. They all started getting water. And then Mebusa, you see Adenta, Yebie pipe no, and 4 or 5 days into tankers are starting distributing Sionia the other. Into all those are some of the things that we did. Make us a mechanic also.
We're a greater Accra, but beyond this, and I know so more greater Accra in other parts of the country. As a Miaba Kwedo Makoma so a Jumani when Nancy Muno, Wabra Mebunu Nisu say ye pay ye free Ghana penny for Titu, a finance minister, and they say. Look, I buy payroll no swima. Inti mumbo with him. Na mo amon sha se nwenwen kwan a mo wan kasa mo betimi e bie mu nyuma. Mabunu no se na sika ye de beso ya sene we. Kwa beso ye betima ye. Won so anu aduro e ba adwuma eni ho na. Eno ne de.
You see, one of the major mistakes are buying here was the closure of the indigenous banks. What I say? Because government payroll I am until the young people should become entrepreneurs. They need credit. And the only banks that were willing to lend to Ghanaians, small and medium enterprises, were the banks that he has closed. Unibank, UT Bank, Heritage Bank, Sir, GM Bank, they were the ones giving small loans to Ghanaian enterprises. And now, sorry, now call APSA banks are kesi, oh, you be few. The other say, bring this collateral, bring this, bring that, bring that, bring that, bring that. You understand? But these other banks that he collapsed, the smaller banks, had found a way of being able to lend small loans to small and medium enterprises. What I say? And so they needed to support them to survive. Right now, it isn't there. We are SME. You can't get, even for startup capital, you can't get from anywhere. And so now you're setting up Ghana Exim, so that Ghana Exim can help Ghanaian enterprises to build up and create jobs for people. And so also, it's based on favoritism. You understand? They give the loans to known people. The only other place I can say is 1D1F. While we see a factory, we see what the near can say uni fence or amount cannot to wall FR fence no into 2 wall now near the 1D1F Baton Ghana Exim Sika. You say okay 1D1F no. That's the only place I see say almost some of those loans but I mean most of the other loans they are giving it on preferential basis.
But for you, solution and ended the
The solution is to grow the private sector, especially agro processing. Osha your manifesto done for 2020. We have it there. We have the 1 million jobs plan. We can create 1 million jobs in the digital sector and in agro processing. Because one of the mistakes we make in agriculture is planting for food and jobs. Fertilizer free, and as a subsidized fertilizer, get improved seeds. But as soon as you finish growing the crop, you have to deal with the market yourself. There's nobody who will take the crop off you and process it and create jobs in the rural area. What they call Bronga half of Nakoshe, we have cashew plantations all over the place. They are not prepared to pick the cashew because who pick cashew now? 1 kilo near come 1 cedi and not 2 cedis. Labor or the back pick cashew no. It will cost you more than that. Our people are not prepared to pick it. But if we put a processing plant, like I said during the 2020 election, we'll put 2 processing plants in Bono and Bono East to process the cashew for export. Right now, what happens is Indian from Edebeto. Omo call India. No market process in India. No the produce of India. Meanwhile, cashew nuts in Ghana. Palm oil. You imported 400 and something thousand tons of palm oil. Meanwhile, palm oil, Malaysia found a free they call Malaysia. Right. And now we are importing palm oil from Malaysia. Meanwhile, we can produce vegetable palm oil here. The point is, the opportunities are there if we put the investment in the right places. What I say. And so if you look in our manifesto, we've outlined all that. They can look in our manifesto. I mean, we can't say that it is our copyright and something. They can copy as many of the ideas that we have there as much as possible. What I say, and if they do that, it will help all of us.
Okay, the messages about entertainment and arts and some and some His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Yemrena Katia Webi. It's young cocketass and a proye, a young Komokasia or my Ghana. Wonsusuyemuno, a dear action plan, and also did 2 aquam when you said about ya. You better to get as a prayer. Mind you, about we say, oh, special prosecutor or state institutions, I would wow, mobile mabwa. Say, oh, cacket as a prayer once a month. Fadansi dear bra, betre. And San Yajiwatu. These are all the narratives are a fact, get as a prayer. But who susu you again, you will see a year anymore.
The point is, in Brofukasem, you can't be lip service. They are just paying lip service to the fight against corruption.
Samu?
Oh yes, lip service.
Or no kakake?
Yeah. Special prosecutor office. Obi to say Martin Amidu, or a lawyer, and he's been deputy attorney general before. Okay. Oh yeah, lawyer more, of a certain standing. What I say? And it's like Obi to say Martin Amidu. Resign no say the president is the mother serpent of corruption. It's a very serious charge. What I say, because Owoniawehu, you know, several attempts were made to obstruct him from investigating certain cases.
Yes.
Anything no Okasano. Anything no say the president is the mother serpent of corruption. Now say, wow, special prosecutor because you are the mother serpent of corruption. What else do you need anybody to say? Say, oh, kon etia kata session and pray. What I say? Say, Obama special prosecutor, Ejuma, say, yes, say. But even if you look at the law, the board and things must give him permission to do something. Then apart from that, also, say the case come out special prosecutor near Tubrika at the Asan Koma CID. Say CID investigating. Into CID investigating and no more clear any panel. Meanwhile, the case is already before the special prosecutor.
No,
it's just to it's what we call to clear the people. Anything I say. President Ndiba Kwayama no can and the names that he has been given one for clearing agent account. But clearing agent can what I say because say BBC on our sorry say oh me who she will into munja hunsemka. Look at the embassy in Norway. The government decided that it was going to open an embassy in Norway. Somebody was giving advance notice of it. Nipano Kotor dying $3 million. And waited. I buy a year ready say Omo Koto embassy and Omo Koji Sanipa dying at $12 million. And can ye foreign committee a war parliament any who a blow alarm now. Somebody would have walked away with $8 million clean, cool money. What I say? Inti Asemi Baye was talking about presidency, so he forget about it. He cleared it. What I say? There are many of such cases. The thing about corruption is man is not perfect, and everybody has his character based on how you were molded in your home or wherever you grew up. The president cannot work alone. The president needs people to help him. He doesn't know the character of every single person that he appoints. So there will be cases of corruption. How you deal with it is what makes the difference. What I say, Yanka say you can clean the stables 100%, there'll be no corruption. But when it occurs, how you deal with it to serve as a deterrent to other people, no, and no anything.
How you deal with it, does it entail near warmer so? And that is where Yana one problem no, because you won't make allegation ubi to say look, it be for political expedience in Tina, will make it that allegation. You
will make allegation over friend of whistleblower. Now, Untiminka say whistleblower evidence. He's not an investigative agency. He doesn't have the capacity. Or no amount will lead say na me doing say AC. It is your duty as government to take your kind and then investigate and find out if there's something in it or not. And now I say,
Matthias,
but I say so yeah allegation for evidence, brand. Me a police. Am I an investigative agency? What I say? Until the media can expose say who say koso. It is the duty of the anti-corruption agency say ombefa sa lead na mwamano no makohwe omuhwe mu a omse o say ne see na sa ni pay ye de nbeka akogina court ana BBC will prosecute him or something ana ye hwe mu no ye hu hwe. You understand? Because this is exactly what happened. That is how you run a government.
Okay. And I'm saying yemre na kana iswaninti woman me the prof bebem na and also akasa kakra. But quick questions, especially on about one sense the current state of NDC amanyukuo. Many questions will go in that direction. Inti me put my question in this way. Yeko 2024 election, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Dia na obetima kache wachita afo wo apam foforo makwa ebehwe na eye wachita afo no omope se obesa aba no ebetima bem edien na odi atoto akwan titru wabato nhihye nsensem ho na afen so said be obe protect eye ema obeto ama.
Even though in the run up to 2020 na yene EC ewo argument kakra na ye hwe se enyoma bi enkoye, you know, and the way amoko no who say, you know, they would run things properly, what I say. And so still no, because of the history of your EC no, we still decided say let's give them the benefit of the doubt, what I say. But I feel election ayekoi we are going into the election as if the EC is against us and on our opponent side. Yes. Because until they show say they are neutral, and they also who said they will not be neutral, don't be impartial. Until we have to go in with that mindset. What I say. So it means that and Bianca who feel say, oh, EC will take care of it into be into me and take advantage of that. No? For instance, printing of ballot papers. You're printing ballot papers new year. You better not printing houses, no copim say you better abandon. What I say, won't believe say you feel what you fire chin printing ballot. I'm just giving you an example.
Okay.
What I say, see I almost the beba Parliament with regards to pink sheet in Libya, we want to see say I be used to know every single thing almost about Parliament I approve and no also. What I say, we won't agree say oh we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Now say collation centers. Yampesa soldier bia any to regional collation center. Soldier 4 they should stand somewhere. It's the police who are supposed to be at the collation centers, and we're all going to be at the collation centers. From about 5 o'clock, you better know. Young collation center, collation presiding officer and say, oh, returning officers in your mind, to Munko Fiemra Nopa. They be you better know. Copim say returning officers in Baba, nay Naya Kai Abano. Copim say Yakai parliamentary presidential. So we're going to approach it. Anything I'm saying, do or die. Do or die,
do or die, now such no.
Well, it means that we're going to cover every base to make sure, say, the right thing is done. What I say, we're going to approach the election with a very, firm. Say we're playing as if the say who's the referee no count. Other team no. Professor Zuma Nelson also calling more or the only referee and echo. It's yes, the high referee and echo into this election. And to make catch and this the election will be won or lost at the polling stations and at the collation center. And I know they were going. We're going to be at the polling stations. We're going to make sure the right thing is done.
Okay. Final question. And again, it's a month for agreeing and I may find there. I put 2 questions for your mouth. You restore licenses of radio stations, Radio XYZ, and the Radio Golden Yaka. Mekai yechra na yede sra ban se omo be dane o madwene se se de ejebu wanya ba e de na che does it in any way insulate a ban way a free media suppression of media freedom and seven na mo so bra yetu radio station in mana.
You see my breso and they set up NCA a regulator. A regulator is supposed to work to grow the industry, not to kill the industry. What are you saying? And the regulator also is proactive. Now regulator obekwa kote baby. Now I try say licenses, but we know I can say licenses are going to my shuttle down. That was not our intention of setting up NCA.
Wow.
The intention of setting up NCA was to help the industry grow. What are you saying? And the what your letter? What's it? What from? Say. And so you use a carrot and stick. Sanya regulatory agencies, no. What I say? But what to? I mean, several stations move for so many years.
Yeah.
Now you say, okay, Mumbai license, and so to have 53,000. Radio Gold say yes, but you have 53,000 Ghana cedis. They've not worked for God knows how many years. And yeah, la sulala me jeje sika won krofo bi ho. And I mean come Radio Gold say monje nkotua mo license no. But then Radio Gold don't several other almost two more. They all of them 60,000 Ghana cedis, 50 something thousand Ghana cedis. At least Ankaka say and the muncha na kakra yamamo bosomensia anabibi. So within 60 days, when and the license now at the man you cancel.
Wow.
It is likely say some of the stations even within 60 days no munya says cano. International say yakoya na see by. But the American say as a regulator, also na industry no growing. What I say, your intention is not to kill your them because the radio stations didn't know you are not there. Regulator then I will regulate it. What I say. And almost said they've restored the license. After so many a year restore. What I say, but conditions on mama stations no point. And show you as 60 days no be almost to mean to access cano. And then for our license and for our license. What I say, and they should give them a break. Maybe 6 months to in these installments, next year. Then when you do that, they can all come back. But the Americans say they were setting a very bad precedent because anka aban SSN na another aban bar. Ebia nipa wo NCA no enye on na be ho na sa aban no so ba na ehwe stations support MPP na no so ka say untua we yi enti ya close so it would have been a very bad example for us. What they say enti me kind me say what they are doing is setting a precedent for the future. Say ekoba say empaba no call other fault na it could also mean that other stations will suffer. And they are restoring those licenses. But I think that I'll say stations now are restoring license. No more 60 days, no sir. They should give them to pay in installments for about 6 months because where are they going to get the money to pay?
Okay, may I show Prof from them because Prof and I'm sure I'm not for the message, but I'm my Prof from Kasabi. Anyway, Prof, especially on His Excellency John Mahama Kane on this renewed vibe they call a year about 2024 and in CC more year any awarding for from de kwa abatonim kakakra ho
yo mejidi se ne kese no ebosaka na meno ye share sa aseda to yase no na mbisa me ho se na ye kokora ye kokasen if seda amanfo gide pa se ye ba na nso so ye ko ye na ye hwe ahokeka ewofo no a na ye nkura na oma hokeka no ahye ye nkura intenu no bibi aye very positive ye kura mu na ye kura mu so aba no yakoto awie de si inti de hian say ye no ye ka review a eno nche say ya cancel eno nche say ye hwe de ko yie ne amana ko yie kese ne ahwe de etosin na eho nso so yesiesie na nche say ye ko yenimi na ba na abato de anka de hian kese ene se bibia be ye pefe eye pefe wudi nkunim a wokura wo confidence say me na medi nkunim utimi sepe ho wo kasa ugina onan so wonim sade o manifesto no enu nti na wo de ko emre bia mba ma wo kasa owura afia na manka ne sa esa no na wo de etu anamo no wudi nkuku nso a esanse bibia ye pefe no na waje atum na eja emwa kakra wo a de be ma no na nso wo de ama na chese oma no na ekọ nanim enti eno ne sa enhihye no ye supporters no ewo ahodo mo wo nkoda bo nso mo vim so ye salute wo
and #vim
#vim enti yeso ye da wo mase na ne de twato me dase ye nyina ye dase ye ba no ye ko radio stations ahemfo ne ade mo nyina mo gye yentumu ye kan asem amanfo bisa asem ne ade ne na empire bon se bibia nya asomdwe abato no na ye ni nada so bibewum tene ade a ayare hosem kese abatan mahwe ma ne ade ye yem hihye ye bom paye ma se nyame mfa emofra no ene obi ohwe ne nkwa no ensie na ye bom paye abanso nhwehwem we nya nto ho saa uja to ho saa wanhwa na ochina de beba no kra na echensa Emobia.
Okay, very well. About on crap on Simadunum and I Yugusa, Yene, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Kaniman Penny, Edwin Kwana Fenso, Nabedi, Professor Nana Jane Opoku. Now, quick messages Abba, way every Mrs. Joanna Jan Kuju was a Kwamenka, His Excellency Nyaya, Manenka Sanfa, Sa 2080 shares, say a year Ghana, you go that you two are saying, ye day 80% shares. Ebe mama no ne for na oba take advantage ewo ye so ewo ye memu akaminya ya His Excellency enka bibi mfa office ye TMM na amanfo fa kwatiri kwa so ACC ye say de enye ade a ebeboaye sanso da Kwaku James message or the free taifa eba e wo say Kwame ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enka samfa ni ato Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu honbusa ne say wonu nsusu yam no wo hu say e ya de pa na eye mrahye bedwafie enhye ya speaker wave ni eyade a ebebo ne ho ban we message ni bia aba na message ni bi so aba we say fatal what free Tema Central say, Kwame, ask him about the digitization and inflation price of fuel in the country. These are all matters of public concern. But on His Excellency, what do I know see? What's him a chat for? Probably, maybe 70 a month for account will be kafa home. Now, what's him a chat for? What the bema a month for? Share an ATA on both TVS wise and Power FM new radio stations out there. Fire.
So be busa efa sika koko asem. So Japan asem no kan.
I think that recently it should be by say efa ye sika koko say omususu say those in the private sector bit ma play a major role. Emma normal gold refinery once.
Okay.
Say you bit me.
Yes, gold refinery $25 million and have be.
That's right.
Okay, me shame we yenti. I won't comment on it. I'll look at it and then I mean, sure say a party will be taking position on it, especially if it's something I was say about Parliament and IBB. Near a Tosso, a Medina MP, wasem. I'm say you're member of Parliament, or more responsibility to our constituencies. And it is a compassion our constituency, BB a how more. I was say MP no show leadership. What I say, into some more demonstration, and ultimately now, and can say. Uncle Jaumu, what I say, and it is a Wako Jaumu na Bibia to singer, you understand? Na Mosemu investigate here. Also, who say constitutional MPs are put in a certain category because of the independence of the 3 executive arms. What I say, your judiciary, your legislature, and your executive. Yeah. The police service is under the executive. It is a one man other arms, no, a certain protection. A capricious president bet me use police no to harass the other arms of government. Enti omoma MPs a certain immunity. Enti say wo ye bibia the way a police for be becho wo ha no. And yes I no betimi akoche MP. What I say? And there's a procedure. Abra ye war parliament. It came up. Then about the quick case, it came up sometime Alajete and an speaker, and they laid down the procedure. So we hear MP, especially when Parliament is in session, I was say we fast our so now we inviting to say you want him to help in investigations. There are instances that Yama police for no Parliament near Fred MP no akotena Speakers Conference Center near Busa no bibia omupe bia, but won't mean koche no enka say what the no koto cell. Now we're interrogating on, because of almost special position and almost. And me sure say, who here said there should be a standoff. I also they should just follow this and tell the speaker that we want to interrogate him on this happening. But also who say, Nisi and also, MP no obligation, ne constituency. What I say, and the road is not good. The people say they're going to demonstrate. The MP must be there. Now, video Bimpoa, he was rather calming them and stopping them from doing some of the things that they were doing. Okay. What I say, and no, I'm saying, IGP Dampai, you say he's trying to bring a change into the policing and all that. But me said this argument with Parliament and who here, if he follows the right course. He can ask for audience with the speaker on it, speaker on say, say, that's all, and then resolve the matter. Very well. Yeah, and then
I'm sure say
effort digitization. Yes, the American is saying digitalization, it's facilitative. You understand? But to me, it's not an end in itself. Into BBA education. Your digitalization of education, e-learning, this annual man. Oko medicine, we have e-medicine and all that. Oko agriculture, we have using processes for marketing agricultural produce. Into digitalization, every sector of the economy, but it's not an end in itself. My achievements are in digitalization at the expense of the main sectors. Into economy in Koye, Bibia Boyade, Bibia Kosro, foreign exchange, I say Yache dollar, dollar na Ejane, Yehum Bibia or Kubium. No one can say, our achievements are in digitalization. I mean, you have to solve the basic human needs. Digitalization is supposed to help solve the basic human needs. And an end in itself. Something that you put in to facilitate me sure say ebia nipa na afi oye champion of digitalization we who say other side na first oma who lecture there they make us the lecture would have been on the economy and the achievements of the economy so afi the digitalization na abeye eyi entinya meka etwa to kra ni ake minto ma mada wonyemi me game shi gadang me fe 2020 election chicken no fon onake seat p ni under 2016 wona tomo lejokuku kro wala de kotopo amefe aba akwa amese aba NDC de e won ton no damage mofia money chuni ni wona na kan seat say ni presidential hu wo ye Greater Accra won woda mofia mochi ni wole ake NDC G party ni ke woba ni bi ya no koni mofia mo ana tuwe jole ewo afo shiki ahawo eko 2024 won sa ni bi fen koni woba tomo kakai
woba tomo His Excellency me da wan say ye bre na nya ye bra no me da wan say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kanima mpani afenso Franka Tunima NDC amanyoko no wabra ye ko 2020 abato me na afenso na be de che Professor Nana Jane was say edin mamu morning sisa yo Professor Nana Jane Hajima ebe do asipa de se ene obra unyama ebe His Excellency ye never for the ye beda mu nyina mo so ma se munya bre na mo hwe eye tonton sansa adwumadie wo TV XYZ and afenso mo tie ye ewo power 97.9 wabra ye de dwabo ase dwumadie ebremo menime nua ama poma checheku ohene babo ama benie mugabe mase dache hine foso agima PSA okra chese ye doso British man or this sports question by yentimi emusa His Excellency ene mo busa questions ni nyina ye da mu nyina amase samo ma ye kwan yetimi ba mu fie mu na fe ye ba mu fon so na yete His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enka ocho nyame ya adoma Ghana nti ye beba abapurum tonton sansai Ghana nti ne wa ye be chia